クレア様を守るナイト。すまないよ、誰か助けて。お嬢様。お嬢様。私のナイト。受けます。何を妄想してるのか知りたくもありませんけど。
Just like Ray's new slime familiar, this episode was adorable. Seeing Ray actually get legitly praised by Claire and the way that she lights up is just absolutely adorable, and it just brings a smile to your face. Like, it makes my cheeks hurt, honestly, from all the smiling I did. Not only from Ray unlocking another what do they call, like, when you have like a choice in those 𝐜𝐴𝐚𝐽𝐸 games, but like not another route, but yeah, I guess another choice. Her unlocking another choice, which happened to be Claire, and then Claire happened to be in the tentacles with her as well too. So it's like she kind of screamed out for nothing, but that did open up a new line that wasn't present before with Claire actually, breaking out of the tentacles. Like, this episode was just adorable. And you love to see how Ray and Claire's relationship continues to kind of evolve. In past tense, right? If you think about before Ray isekai into this world, there was a place to where if Ray had interrupted Claire and the princess moment like she did here, it probably would have led to like a Claire outburst of emotion. But instead, this episode, it was all Claire completely worried about where Ray was, if she's okay, like all this stuff, even down to praising her. And even Ray herself was like, yo, you just ruined like your own flag. Like, you just ruined your flag for me kind of thing. And like her realizing like you just ruined your flag for me kind of thing was like, it was so good to see. On top of that, like, this episode was like super funny. You know what I mean? The ending part of the episode with the slime and, Claire yelling out monster. It was pretty funny. Claire Ray pretending, or I guess imagining, that she's going to be a knight when she got presented with the knighthood stuff. Like, this episode was just incredible. And I want to talk about it a little bit more. Before I do, though, I do want to thank everybody for commenting on last week's episode, though, because last week's episode was kind of a snooze fest, in my opinion, and it went down a serious tone when they tried to insert this, like, preachy, like, I don't know, this preachiness that did not befit the episode. And I did want to say I appreciate all of you guys for engaging me in the comments last week. But as we move forward, there's one thing that I want to be very clear on. And when it comes to these types of Yuri anime or BL anime, like, I don't think necessarily that folks jumping into these kinds of shows necessarily need that, preachiness that last week really did. I think all of us jumping in are jumping in with the notion or watching because, like, it is this weird Yuri anime or this really cool BL anime or something like that, and we're watching because of this like new unique thing, like this one here, a girl getting isekai'd into this like otome game world where princess, the princess, the men await her, and she ends up going after the opposite, the villainess, like, that's just such a unique take on a show that, we knew going into just reading the description, we knew that she's going to be all about getting, into the skirt of this villainess here. So it's like, we don't really need that preachy stuff. And moreover, last week, when I made a lot of the comments I did during the video, it's like, I don't mind the subject matter. I don't mind serious tone. I don't mind a tonality shift in anime when it's done right. I just simply don't think last week with the episode being a little bit more on the boring side, and then it got serious too, I just don't think it handled it well. And when I come into this show, I'm coming in for a fun Yuri ride where Ray is skirt chasing, and I am interested to see how she comedically handles that, and then which path we actually end up traveling down. As I've expressed before, of like, it's all in Claire's wheelhouse, or it's all in her court on if we're going to go this friendship route or if we're going to go this romantic route. and I'm interested to see on how we get there. But the serious stuff, like, I don't really need that in my fun skirt chasing Yuri anime. And I just want to make that clear of, like, if it was done better, if the show had implemented the tonality shift a little better, I probably would have been more open to it. But because it wasn't, I kind of thought it sucked, and it really just kind of poo-pooed my episode and just my experience overall. That's kind of why I said what I said. So I want to make that super clear. All right, now back to episode number 4. I think this one was back on the upswing for me. I laughed this episode. I smiled virtually the whole entire episode. It was beyond cute and beyond adorable, and I loved it. Finding out more about the world was really awesome too. The complex nature of magic is really awesome to learn more about. I loved that we found out that Rei has been secretly practicing her magic because she knew this slime event would be coming up. Now, she didn't prepare enough, honestly, because she wasn't able to handle it on her own, like seemingly how she thought she would. She wasn't able to overpower this slime and stuff like that. So I thought she thought it would go different, but the finding out that she's been practicing a lot really bodes well for her. Ultimately, Claire and the prince saved the day, but, you know, what she did here really proved, like, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, her skills and stuff, and the effort that she's put in while being in this world. So I thought that was a really cool thing to see. I also think it's really cool that she's going to be practicing and engaging and trying out to be part of the Knights along with Claire. The scene where she pretended to or imagined that she would be Claire's knight, hilarious. And then when she imagined Claire being the knight and, like, ripping off her stuff and having armor underneath, hilarious. And I like how Claire is constantly calling Rei out too, of like, what are you imagining right now? Why are you like that? You know what I mean? Like, I think that is absolutely just hilarious, and I love it so much. On top of everything else, like I already said a little bit earlier, adorable the interaction that she had, the genuine interactions that she's having with Claire. Like, you know, I think the first step for them, you know, based on what they've given us so far, is like, it's definitely Rei breaking down those barriers and getting into the friendship area, right? Like being like BFF levels of affection. And I think once she gets to that point, it's then breaking down the barriers of potential romance being an option, you know? And for her, you know, as we kind of move forward, it's pretty obvious that Rei is all about this one, like, she's all about it, right? But it's really like for Rei, it's really breaking down that barrier for Claire to consider this being an option. And there's going to be some back and forth that I like to see too, because like Rei at this point, like, she wanted to run away when she saw Claire having a genuine interaction with the prince. Because as she begins to kind of fumble and change around a lot of the plot lines, Claire is being looked at in a lot different light, and more of a positive light and affectionate light, because the reason she was a villainess before is not only her attitude towards people and others, but it was mainly her attitude towards Rei. But because that's changed from like, oh, you guys are best friends, huh? Like, because that narrative has changed, she's gotten the not visuals, but she's gotten the attention of the princess in a positive way. And from the prince she likes a lot, she's gotten a lot of positive change. So much that he was about to give her some head pats. You know what I mean? That's a big jump from where she was in the Otome game to where she is now. And it's because of Rei's intervention. But then Rei also has to deal with that inner turmoil of, if you love her, let her go kind of thing. But then she also has to kind of like figure, like, you know, what do I want here? So it's a very interesting concept to see. And overall, really loved the episode. I thought this episode was fire. Again, laughed, giggled, smiled throughout the whole episode. And the slime, oh my God, slime's so good. Can't wait to see more. Anyways, my friends, I'm going to see you guys next week for episode number 5. This episode, 9 out of 10, easy peasy. All right, my friends, see you guys next week. Peace.